Ethos of Silence.
A veteran podcast aims to amplify the voices of veterans, creating a safe space for authentic conversations about their experiences, challenges, and triumphs. We seek to break the stigma surrounding mental health and foster community support, resilience, and understanding. Through storytelling, expert insights, and candid discussions, we strive to inspire healing, promote awareness, and empower veterans on their journeys.
Welcome. Ethos of Silence, and we're back. Podcast host here, Tim Loucks. And I got my buddy Chuck here with me. Chuck, how you doing today?
I'm doing outstanding, brother. Outstanding.
All right. Dude, I love me some TikTok. I've been following a bunch of inspirational quotes and been jotting them down and different stuff. I've got like 300 or 400 of them that I just keep going through. So let me ask you this, right? There was this one thing came up, 7 signs that you're a dangerous person. Let me get your take on this. All right. So number 1, you're calm under pressure. When chaos breaks out and everyone loses their fucking minds, you stay composed. 2, you don't overshare. You speak less, you observe more. 3, you control your emotions. No one can easily provoke you. 4, you think strategically. You don't react, you're calculated. 5, you're comfortable alone. Most people fear solitude. You don't. You recharge in silence. 6, you don't seek validation. Compliments don't distract you. Criticism doesn't break you. 7, you move in silence and win loudly. You don't announce your plans, you let the results speak. How do you feel about that? 7 signs that you're a dangerous person.
I feel like that's a cheat code, a roadmap.
A cheat code and a roadmap, huh?
Yeah. Look, growing up, me and my dad we weren't the closest, and I didn't have a lot of those wise words and gifted wisdom and stuff like that. I mean, my uncles taught me plenty about girls, stuff like that. But I think one of my biggest issues and stuff that I had dealt with over the years is my emotions. I can be, when I want to be, I can be a very cold individual, so I've been told. And it takes a lot for me to warm up to somebody and to be vulnerable with them.
Yeah.
I've known you for a very long time, so I can just come out to you, and it's like if somebody just kicked the hose, the faucet in the backyard, and just water just gushes out. I feel like I can be there with you because I know you, I trust you, and have so much time with you.
I think having a confidant, having somebody you can share moments with that isn't going to judge you for being emotion and showing yourself, like that's the partner we all seek in life. I'm glad that as a trusted mentor, that people can confide in you and find that safe place to vent, be vulnerable, and be able to try and reach down and figure out and do the self-work that is required to become a better person, right? Because we're all working toward making ourselves better despite the distractions we take on a daily basis that lead us in a different direction. You're right.
And I think the reason last episode I talked about this book, Way of the Superior Man, so it's a spiritual guide to mastering the challenges of women, work, and sexual desires. And I think especially as a man, especially in today's world, there are no bigger pitfalls for young men than those.
For young men in today's day, dude, that's always been a thing. It's not new. Like Dion says, man, that it's the same old boys. You're trying to coach the same young men. Ain't nothing new here. It's still X's and O's. You're still trying to coach the same young men. The same young men still want to be coached. Like we were talking about before, the same young men still want that title. I'm not too sure if the older generation joining the military will want that title. Now, if you made a platoon that was all 30 and 40-year-olds, then you would have like-minded men trying to complete the like-minded training, and you could tailor the training to them, and maybe some lessons could be taught easier without having to be taught the hard way because they've lived a quality and an amount of life to be able to learn them. But it's the same young men trying to learn the same lessons. You know, you're trying to earn the same titles.
Well, I find myself recently having to ask myself, am I strong enough in those areas? Am I making the smart choices? Am I leading with my head or my heart? Which one do I listen to? You know, and there are times where I feel like, you know, it takes a lot out of you.
I hear you, Chuck. So let me ask you some simple questions. Where's a warrior forge? You know, the fires you go through, the evolution of the crucible creates the Marine, right? So the fire, the forge, the crucible, it all creates the Marine, right? So let me read this to you. Imagine you pray to God about the person you want to become. You say, God, I want to be courageous. And God replies, then I will give you monsters that will terrify you so you can conquer them. You say, God, I want to be patient. So God replies, then I will make you work harder and longer and nothing will ever come easy to you. You say, God, I want to be wise. God replies, then I will give you failures that will crush your spirit so you can learn the value of judgment. You say, God, that sounds like a hard life. Can you just give me a good life? God replies, just like we measure the quality of the blacksmith and the strength of his steel, I measure you by who you are at the end, not the fire and hammer it took to make you. This very principle is why, and I mean, that's it. That's it, man. Like, we strive to create ourselves in a better thing. And in the process of doing that, we must work against the thing that we're trying to better, you know? Like, if we're trying to be more courageous, we have to slay those demons. Trying to be more patient, we're going to have to learn how to utilize that patience. And it's going to seem overwhelming because we're trying to be better at something that we are acknowledging that we have that weakness with, right? And a lot of the prayer and leaving it in the hands of God that if I continue down this path, it will become easier, because it does. Because anything that you put your mind to, because you're a hard-headed ass Marine, you end up doing.
So I saw this. I got this quote. I'm trying to find it for you. And it's, you know, I ain't got to get into it. You know everything that's going on right now.
Yeah, no. I can feel some time while you're waiting for a quote, man. So yeah, I mean, when God wants to make a man powerful, he doesn't crown him first. He breaks him first. First, he strips him from his comfort, your pride, your plans. Sounds a lot like going to boot camp. Then all that's left is the real. It's not a punishment. It's training. You see the pain, it didn't destroy you. You see the scars, they didn't make you any weaker, you know? The weight of your destiny, you're still walking tall. Every day, every betrayal, every heartbreak, that's molding you, piece by piece. You don't grow in comfort, you grow in chaos, you know? Like going through all these trials and tribulations make you a better, stronger, wiser person. And it's up to you to either fold under the pressure or and be a hard-headed ass Marine and keep moving forward and better yourself on the backside of it.
So let me ask you this. Is it easier to be a good person or easier to be a bad person? The reason I say this is because, I was going through my situation. I had another friend of mine reach out who kind of felt, the surface was off and tension and everything. And he told me a man only becomes a villain when the only thing he was fighting for turns on him.
Yeah, no. Yes, you become a villain whenever the only thing you're fighting for turns on you. Whenever the people around you, whenever you stop being convenient, so they stop being loyal. When you're no longer convenient and they're no longer loyal, you're the villain. Even though you're still loyal, you're just no longer available. Like that creates the villain. Yeah, it's a lot harder to be a good man than it is to be evil. It is a lot easier and it would serve my heart, and I'd be able to sleep so much easier at night if I did not care about what my daughter was doing in Dallas right now with my mother. Like if I didn't care about one thing that's going on with my child out of town right now, I would be able to go to sleep and sleep like a dream. Instead, I wake up, check Life 360, check where they're doing, check what's going on, and that's a worry on my head. The same with my son.
I feel like sometimes
that the worry's there, right? So if I didn't worry and I was a horrible parent, life would be easier. But I worry like a responsible adult would worry. Thus, I'm a good person, and being a good person is hard because a good person requires you to actually care, to show up, to do things, and to provide. And the thing about providing is, in this world, unless you have stumbled upon some type of cheat code, to be able to provide sacrifices time. To be able to be present sacrifices time. So you have two different things that are pulling your time in two different ways. Oh, yeah. And then you also have to sleep and take care of yourself, which is the most important thing. Because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't go to work and be productive. And you cannot take care of your kids and be productive. So being a good person is a lot harder than being evil.
Yeah. And that's why I think I'm coming across to crossroads and figuring out, first and foremost, what is it that I want to do? And I understand at some point somebody's going to call me evil, somebody's going to call me good. You know what I mean? I guess it's all perspective based. Perspective.
Yeah. No. I mean, your life will be a lot easier whenever you don't care about the opinions of the people that don't matter to you.
Yeah. And that's, again, I'm trying to reach out, educate myself, and learn, because it feels like almost like you can look around, right, at your work and on the news and media and sports, and it seems like sometimes the most wicked, evil people are constantly getting ahead. And you're like, hey, when do they get theirs? So, but that time we spent in the military,
they get theirs because they do not have what you have, Chuck. They don't have two beautiful daughters to look at and be proud of everything, because you've provided everything in a upstanding way to make sure that your children were raised and are going about life in the correct way and everything like that. Like they have cars and they have this and they have that, and they've got stuff, and it's luxurious and it's nice. But that they're the same people who go to 6 different Christmas parties and not a one of them's with a family member, right? And then you have your family or your makeshift family because we're deployed in the middle of the desert or whatever. Like, you have your group of people, and they have their group of people, and their group of people like going to islands and doing mischievous things. And I don't want to be with that group of people. But yeah, I mean, it's very hard to be an upstanding good person. It is very easy to be evil. Like that just comes second nature to some people, and if you didn't have the priorities and didn't care, let me check this out. So the art of reading people. If someone is touching their nose, they are lying. When someone crosses their arms, they're disagreeing with you. If someone is telling you something and their palms are facing upward, they are telling you the truth. If their hands are on their cheek, they are very focused on what you're saying. What do you think about that? The art of reading people.
As someone that was a recruiter and we spent a great deal of time reading body language, there's a scientific truth to that. But I also think you have to be cautious because it's not something that most people practice on their daily. And I think if you come across somebody that is a very good manipulator, they can almost convince you, that you have their attention or that they have your best interest at heart. So I feel like sometimes being a good person, you naturally start in a place where you want to believe everyone is on a good footing, right? You might not necessarily believe them entirely, but you believe them to be on a good footing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the same as you walking in to work on aircrafts at a well-respected name of a company, right? So you assume that everybody who works at this company has at least the level of aircraft knowledge you do. Maybe they use different terms for it or whatever, and you'll have a conversation and get down to the same thing, and you're both saying the same thing, and it's okay. But for somebody to think that, hey, X, Y, or Z is okay, or this, that, or the other is actually okay, or this, that, the other actually work well, or it's like earth-shattering that somebody thinking something as critical as being safe for flight, that this is the correct and safe way to do something for flight, It's like, what did you learn at this other place that makes you think that you rate half this stuff that you're saying? It's pretty earth-shattering sometimes. The amount of knowledge some people have, or the amount of knowledge that some people will mislead you in having. And yeah, you're right. I mean, some people learn how to be liars and they learn how to manipulate others because it's the way they've gotten through the world. And I don't know when they're going to have to be called to answer for the things they say and the things they're doing. But I'd like to think that it catches up with everybody eventually, but sometimes it's sometimes the weight of that catching up can be weird. Like you'll never see the full impact of when it catches up with them, but I guarantee you when it does, they're going to regret not learning the correct way to do things.
I just feel, I mean, that's the hope. Me personally, at this point in my life, man, I feel like I need to equip myself better for the world. I think, and I'm not ungrateful for my time spent in the military, but I think when we went in the time of war and everything like that, we had other like-minded individuals that were like country before self, right? Our buddies before us, especially, when you see that you lose friends on deployment or when they come back home and stuff like that. And I still feel like in a lot of ways I have not let go of that mentality, that whole honor and moral code that they give you in camp. And so I find myself struggling in day to day because it's almost like you're swimming with sharks, but you got no choice. You got to make it to the other side, So you're swimming with sharks, and I just got to better prepare myself because the things that we want, maybe not always aren't good for us, and even still, we still want them, And I think any young man, my best advice would be to read, find you a good mentor, because it's your mental health now at this point. I'm 36 years old, and I can't recall a time where my mental health has been any worse than what it is right now. You know what I mean?
And I hope that this podcast and people listening to the podcast realize the fact that, struggles in life are real. You're talking about 2 Marines here who've done multiple combat deployments, and we've been to war zones. We've seen a thing or two, and we are struggling with simple things in life that should not be a struggle, but we cannot wrap our mind around how to function with it. And that's why faith is very important, is because with it being a cornerstone and you doing reading and learning about the way that your brain's operating and why your brain thinks different things and does different things, it's the same with, like, I do some reading on why some joints hurt and different stretches that actually make those joints feel better and take the, the compression off of them and everything else. And knowledge is power in that point, But I've got to a point in my life where I don't run from my demons anymore, I learn from them and I give them names. Like, they don't control me. I'm in control of them, and they're there to remind me of the things I've been through, but they don't control me anymore. But there was a time when they did.
Yeah. I think now there's a lot more opportunity out here for us, us military service members, guys, and I think the military does do one thing really, really well. It does create for a lot of us, most of us, this world, this safety net, where at least, at the end of the day, or you should, at the end of the day, everyone's got your back, right? Because you're part of this team, this thing.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is quickly realizing the people that don't have your back, so don't waste your energy on them, right? Like, I understand the skepticism of family members for, hey, look, you've done this, hey, look, you've done that, or different things, and being treated differently or whatever, and they're family, so you're going to love them forever, and they're going to love you forever, and it's almost like not seeing eye to eye on a decision, but you just kind of grit your teeth and you go through it. But at the end of the day, it creates this network of people that are strong as blood, and they are here to rely on. And sometimes all you need is a friendly reminder that you're not in it alone. And that's what Ethos of Silence is all about, man. It's the reminder that, as loud as the silence is, you're not in the silence alone. We're all in it together, and we're all going to come out the other side and strive and make a better existence for all of us. If we could just paint that path.
I agree.
So each one of those paths is going to be painted individually based off of, your skill set, what you've got going on, and everything else. But I mean, there's a ton of resources out there to just look into and figure out. And I mean, as each one comes in, the trick is to make sure that you don't overextend yourself. So I mean, it's a lot easier to afford a Ford Focus than it is a Lamborghini. So with that knowledge, do what you will. I'm not telling you to live out of a Ford Focus, but just don't go get that Lambo.
Hey, but nobody complains about the price of Ferrari that can afford a Ferrari, right? So
yeah,
I guess
I hear you. You want to know who complains about the price of the Ferrari? That 40-year-old who joined the military, and the Ferrari is the one thing to his name. He's the one who complains about the price of that Ferrari. Man.
Yeah, like I said, I'm getting into reading. I got the highlighter out. I'm trying to learn lessons. Because I feel like it is valuable, right? Learning lessons, going through and experiencing things. But I'm kind of tired of some of the lessons I'm learning. So I'm going to do a lot more reading. I think also physical fitness.
Yeah. So when you do physical fitness, you feel better about yourself. When you go to the dentist, you got a pretty smile, you take care of yourself, you go get a haircut, you do all these things that you say are a waste of money, you feel better about yourself, right? When you do all this stuff, you feel better about yourself. Man, sometimes I just wish I could put some of these demons hanging around on, that I could bill them, so that way they can carry some of the weight of these fucking burdens I'm carrying. That'd be nice. You know what I mean? If I could have some of these demons pay some of the bills for me, life would be great.
Hey, if we could put them bad boys to work, be so productive, right?
Right.
Get some stuff done while you're asleep. You know what I mean? Edging the lawn and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna put you on payroll. You want to haunt me? Come carry some of these fucking weight.
Get these groceries. I need you to get these groceries.
Come get these groceries for me real quick. Oh man, it's hard to find real people, and it's hard to find people who understand what you've gone through and what you're feeling. Even without, explaining your situation, you can feel like, hey, look, this group of guys may have done what I've done in the military. They may not have done what I've done in the military, but they've deployed. They know what it feels like to, miss birthdays and miss all these other different things. And they know what it feels like to jump through hoops to get home, to then everybody wants, instead of to come to where you went to travel 2 hours to meet up somewhere else. It's like, I just traveled all the way across the country. You want me to sit in a car for 2 hours? I mean, can you at least drive and I get a nap? It's like, man.
No, I agree. I think the worst thing the military's ever done to me is put me in a place where I have created bonds with individuals that are tighter than family, right? Some of the most influential people in my life and the most beneficial people in my life. And then at the end of 4 or 5 years, it just split you all apart, right?
Yep. Well, you know what? Got one last quote we can talk about, then we'll wrap this little episode up, right? So, talking about, if you're a good person, if you're an evil person, right? There's one measuring stick that I wonder, and then I come home and I have this cat that jumps up on me, and like I was taking a nap waiting for you, and I set an alarm after I got off work to jump up and start podcasting with you, right? The cat jumps up in my lap and is curled up next to me and sleeping, right? So, hate people all you want. Hate them all you want. Animals run to him. His friends speak all their feelings to him. He's there for everyone. He's the family clown. All the kids see him and call him uncle, run up to him, jump on him, play with him. He's the fun uncle. He's their favorite uncle. You can hate on him all you want, but one thing I know, energy doesn't lie, right? Like we were talking about the master manipulators and all this other different stuff, right? And their little charade can go on for a while, but I mean, energy doesn't lie. At the end of the day, you realize the energy and the love coming from your kids, it's not there all the time. It's earth-shattering and hurts whenever it's not. But when it's there, it's like the whole world and everything's going right. I wish I could always keep a smile on my kids' faces. It's not a reality. At some point, you have to be an adult and not be their friend, and you have to teach them the life lessons, and they will respect you for it, and they will become better people for it. But energy doesn't lie. What do you think about that?
No, I think energy doesn't lie. I think when you get a good vibe from somebody, that's your body, your nervous system telling you that this person can be trusted. Animals do it all the time. They don't exchange words or anything like that, but they know when somebody has good intention and bad intention, and I think we gotta listen to that.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we place too much of a premium on the optics of things.
Oh, right? Yeah. You pay way too much premium on somebody's appearance. Pretty people get away with everything. It's easier for pretty people to lie than ugly people. I tell you that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that goes with your confidence too. When you perceive yourself as that way and you carry yourself as that way, like I can walk into a room and bullshit my way through about almost anything just because I'm a confident Marine walking with my head tall, and I'll be like, yeah, just don't fact check me on any of that information.
There were a couple times I feel like you used to say, what was it? Treat them like mushrooms. Feed them.
Oh yeah. I would say the maintenance controllers. You treat them like mushrooms. You keep them in the dark and you feed them shit, and you know what? They'll stay happy. Yeah. I'd say that all the time. And I'd say that as a training thing is, you tell them what they need to hear for them to get off your fucking back. But at the end of the day, you got your job to do, right? So you tell them what they need to hear to get off your back so you can do your job. It's perfect little analogy, perfect little thing to tell everybody, right? But one of my star pupils that I am the most proud of ever creating got in trouble, and because he told Control one thing, and then the chief warrant officer pulled him and talked to him and said, "Hey man, you told Control they'd have this back and this back and this back. What's going on with it?" He's like, "Well, I mean, that made him happy, didn't it?" He's like, well, but yeah, but you weren't giving it back to him. He's like, no. Staff Sergeant Loucks taught me to keep them in the dark and feed them shit, and as long as they're happy, everything will be okay. He's like, I did say that is the lesson, but you're utilizing it wrong, buddy. Throwing me under the bus. At least I wasn't in the room or in the Marine Corps anymore when he threw me under the bus, but he called me that night and told me about it.
Snitches get stitches.
Oh, but at least he called me that night and told me about it. So
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I know who it is. But
Oh yeah, of course you know them all. It's fine. Oh man, I need to get him on here one day and get him to go through his entire spill of all his military stuff. He's had a really interesting post-military career too.
yeah,
He spent this last Marine Corps birthday at Bellawood, so that was interesting. He got to visit Bellawood and all that other different stuff because he's out there in Europe right now. So, pretty interesting.
Yeah, there's a couple things left on the good old bucket list.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll be done raising kids and we'll get a chance to travel a little bit. Right off some of the travel on the podcast, huh?
Oh yeah, I don't know if I'm done. That kids are just too expensive now, man.
Yeah, nah, life is too expensive right now, but maybe in a couple years, give me 5-6 years, let me get the last one out of high school, and figure out, get them squared away in college, then I'll have mine little. Hopefully life will slow down, but it won't. I will be presented with another challenge to make me a better person, and I will rise to the occasion. Any final words of wisdom?
Fall down 7 times, get up 8.
Yeah, like we said on aircrafts, as long as you find more shit than you drop, you're in the positive, buddy. You're good.
Hell yeah.
All right, babe. Ethos of Silence, and we out.
We now have a moment of silent prayer for those still in the battle, for our departed comrades, for those missing in action, and for those held as prisoners of war.